Yes, my Paw crew. Always got to give it some Paw. We are back after months away for the brand new Spearhead Records podcast time slot. We're going to be here 7 p.m. each and every Wednesday night. I know it's not ideal for everybody around the world, but you can also stream back on SoundCloud, through iTunes and Mixcloud, on the podcast app, whatever. Tried to do it through Spotify a couple of times. They keep booting us off. It's a bit of a pain, but it's good to see some of you joining, and that this time does work. It works for me. Saturdays are kind of out of the option, which is why I haven't been here for months. But that's it. So I will say at the start, if you're listening back on SoundCloud, this is by no means a mix. I will be talking a lot. And I thought I'd kick off today's being back. I'm getting distracted by the messages. I thought I'd kick off today's Back at It podcast by doing a little special about this. The 20 years, look at, you can see the reflection of the chat. The 20 years of BCee vinyl box sets have arrived. It only took until it was 21 years of BCee, but they're here. And today the last of the pre-orders went out, so yours should be on the way. And if you haven't got one yet, Spearhead Records at bandcamp.com. They're flipping expensive, I know, because they've ended up costing us an obscene amount of money. But happy days, they're here. So I'm going to be looking at that today, going through some of the tracks, talking about that. And then next week, I'll start going through the mountain of new Spearhead releases there've been, and other music. We're going to do 1 hour a week. Here we go. So all the tracks, I think everything I played today is going to be from the 20 Years of BCee album, which of course you've probably been listening to for months on digital anyway. The track just played, the Kirill remix of Speak to the Sky. Kirill was somebody who I just came across on Critical Records. He had a few releases on Critical, really liked the sound, thought he could give a kind of tougher edge to the track. And that takes us into this one, my little update of Lost and Found, which if you don't know what this is about, we'll perhaps visit that in a minute. Big up Courtney Welch. I'll message some other, I'll mention more people. But big up Courtney, one of my ex-students. Hope you're well, mate.
I hope you can see me from there, 'cause I can see you. Oh, yes, I can see you. You touch me. Track your fingertips in my veins. You saved me when there was nowhere to go. Yes, you love me. And now everything has changed since you touched me. You touched me. Track your fingertips in my veins. You saved me when there was nowhere to go. Yes, you love me. And now everything has changed since you touched me. Look around at all the halos illuminate the skies above. Lost and found, you never gave up. No matter what, you always looked up. I hope you can see me from there. 'Cause I can see you. Yes, I can see you. You touch me. Track your fingertips in my veins. You saved me when there was nowhere to go. Yes, you love me. And now everything has changed since you touched me. You touched me. Track your fingertips in my veins. You saved me when there was nowhere to go. Yes, you love me. And now everything has changed since you touched me. Lost and found.
So you go, that one then, Lost and Found, featuring Rocky NT. My little refix for the 20 years of BCee thing. So if you are brand new to this and don't realise, the 20 years of BCee album, 20 years of BCee, this time next year, a little nod to Only Fools and Horses, came out in November. We were meant to have a launch party in December. We had a launch party a couple of months back. And the album's been out digitally for ages, but the box set, so like with November, arrived last week. So you can listen to it anywhere but spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com if you want to buy a vinyl box set, a very expensive vinyl box set, but it will. Think of it as a subscription to the podcast. Right, I'm going to play you this one now. It's called Spirals. It features Solar on vocals. In case you didn't know, I produced 3 of the 4 tracks on Solar's EP. Let's just come out on Hospital. Really, really pleased with that. Had the absolute honour of doing a boat party last week at Hospitality on the beach with Hannah, aka Solar. Bumped into Chris from Cambridge there, who's on the chat. I've got a little bit of a tan from it. And still this I've got this curved brown, weird mark on my head from when I had long hair in COVID. That won't go away. Anyway, big up all the regulars in the chat. It's great to see so many people joining in on here already. I'll let this one play because it's my favourite tune that we've written. I've got a brand new single coming out with Solar on Beats Based Life, Sigma's label, next week. I will be here next week, so I'll play you that then. Take it from the 20 years of BCee, Spirals featuring Solar.
Don't wanna let
So like I said, I will be talking over all of these. The album's out. You can just go and listen to it if you want that. Let me tell you a couple of things. One is 20 years of BCee. I mean, I think I made a mistake calling it that because everybody just thought it was a compilation. Every single thing on it is brand new for this project. It's remixes, it's some reworkings, and working with people who I've known over the years. This track with Solar and the project with Solar came about because after the Life As We Know It album with Charlotte Haining, Solar got in touch with me and said, would you ever work with some other vocalists? I knew her stuff from Halogenics and Spectra Soul and was like, abso-flipping-lutely. So we started working on a project, and off the back of the project we were working on together, Hospital heard it and signed her. So we have more stuff on the way. I'm going to say big up to Hope Hewitt as well. And Tim, hope you're well. I met Dan Bryan as well at the 20 years of BCee party finally, which was fantastic. Now, I've got to tell you about this boat party that we were at last week. I hate boats. And I'd been assured by Josh and Ali from Hospital's events team that the boat party at Hospitality on the Beach will be fine. It's kind of in a bay. They're really, really still. It was anything but still. If you look on my Instagram, they asked for artists to go on the boat first. I walked on the boat, turned around, came back off the boat and refused to get on until last. And I kid you not, me, Ethelwood, Rhea were flying around like this the entire time. You went to press the Q button on the CDJs and it just moved away. And then me and Ethelwood and Rhea done a kind of back-to-back set where the whole time one of us had to hold up the desk with the decks on because it was coming off the floor. You kind of can't imagine it, but it was terrifying. And people were trying to say hello to me afterwards, and I looked a bit rude, I know, because I just pushed past everybody and got off the boat, but I didn't want to be on it a minute longer. But Chris Newell, Chris from Cambridge, can confirm it was flipping mental, like mental. I wasn't sick though, which is good. Somebody dislocated their knee on one of them because it was moving about so much. But I have to say, in spite of that, it was one of the best parties I've ever been to. So I'm definitely not complaining. The vibe of it made up for the rockiness. So someone that was once a dream of mine to work with, the legend that is DRS. I've had the absolute pleasure of working with on several occasions. DRS is one of the hardest working men in the game. And if he says he's going to deliver you a vocal the next day, he delivers a vocal the next day with style. So I sent him this beat, and when he sent this one back, I was very pleased with the result. From the 20 Years BCee album, Let Go of Love, featuring DRS.
You talks of war, holds the devil so close, don't you ever let go of love. Deep in your heart is a light so jaded. Love is the spark, and only love can change it. He who talks of war, holds the devil so close, don't you ever let go of love. He who talks of war, holds the devil so close, don't you ever let go of love. Love holds the devil so close, don't you ever let go of love. Of love. go of love.
Big up the legendary Ember in the house. Ember's album, his debut album, self-titled. He's very arrogant, but it was me that told him to do it. Is up for pre-order now. It's out very soon. Ember. It's got all the singles and a load more stuff. So go spearheadrecordsbandcamp.com or spearheadrecords.co.uk to pre-order that. Got to say, Hospitality on the Beach was an absolute vibe. And if you want to catch me out and about anywhere else, I will be at the Hospitality 338 warm-up. Studio 338 next month with Willem. I'll be at Liquidity in Amsterdam. I will be at Sun and Bass if anybody's going to that. And of course, me, Charlotte Haining and Tempsa are doing a special on the Spearhead stage at Hospitality Weekend in the Woods, where you need to be. Big up Kenny Jeffrey in the chat. My dad, always representing the brand and also a bit of urban creative. Hospitality on the Beach, last thing I'll say about that probably was it was good to see some of you guys out there. I had to play we had a Spearhead stage one of the nights, and I tell you what, it was the most nervous I've been to DJ for some time, because when you step up to the decks and take over from LTJ Bookham, who's been in the game longer than me, so I was buying his stuff when I first got into drum and bass, and behind the decks you've got Fabio, Groove Rider, GQ, Spy, Brian G, Lenz, Winslow, I can't even remember who else, Chris Goss from Hospital. I mean, there were like 15 artists backstage right behind the decks. It's flipping terrifying. I was absolutely terrified. But the tune that did the most damage, great scorer, Ember remix, which I will let you hear soon. Just going to give my cousin John a shout out, and Luke as well, and Stace. Spearhead family, literally in the place. Right, as Ember's in the building. Taken from 20 years of BCee as well, this time next year. This is the fantastic Ember Jungle remix of one of my biggest streaming tracks, Surfacing. We're only doing a focus on this project today, by the way. We'll be back next week with everybody else's brand new music. If you've got a favourite from the 20 years album, drop me a message in the chat and let's get it on.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, big shouts to Ember. And, of course, Lucy Kitchen, who we've written quite a lot of tracks together. I got in touch with her after hearing her on Looking for Diversion, an old Technomatic track. And then I sent her the loop. The original loop for Surfacing was just a very simple loop, and she sung over the top of it. Built everything else up around it, and it is, flipping love it. It's all about the amen. And then, of course, Ember has now worked with her as well, and there's a track, brand new one with Loose Kitchen on the Ember album. Mark Lanchester, big up Mark Lanchester in the chat, who since probably we were doing regular podcasts, Mark Lanchester now works for Spearhead Records from the office, although he's not here right now. We do let him sleep at home still. But the other week, myself, Mark Lanchester, the legend that is Benny Land, our videographer, and Mark's wife Bridget had a little trip to Theatre Royal, and I see Mark mention my mug. I was going to mention this. Anybody know this character? Well, we went to see them and their owner at the Theatre Royal in Norwich, and we ended up being on stage as part of the act for about 40 minutes, being used as puppets. If you don't know who Nina Conti is and Monkey, give her a little look on YouTube. She basically gets masks and puts them on other people. And of course, somehow, thanks to Mark going up first, we all, I won't repeat what was said because I know my dad is watching, but we all ended up on stage, for like 40 minutes being used as puppets by Nina Conti. It was an outing we will not forget in a hurry. And so this is the souvenir. Spearhead Records now has Nina Conti monkey mugs, and that's the story of the mugs. Right, this one's called Easy Roller. Again, obviously taken from the same album. This one features Mr. Math. Now, this one came about because I made like a little Easy Roller, jungly kind of dubby tune. And I'd used the sample, I can't remember what the sample was, but I was never going to get clearance from it. And it had the kind of vocal part of this track to it. And so I went on a website called Fiverr, where you can just get people to do jobs for you. And sent the sample to this guy, Mr. Math, and got him to recreate the sample with slightly different words, which is now what you hear in the track, similar to what I did with the Morgan Freeman sample. That's not Morgan Freeman and never was, but now sounds like it is. Anyway, here we go. Easy Roller featuring Mr. Math. So you go then, Easy Roller with Mr. Math. One person it was great to catch up to last week, catch up with at Hospitality on the Beach was the legend that is Luke Stephen Beavon, Luscious Sexual Booty, or LSB, as you may know him as. Somebody who's been mentioned many a time on this podcast. I have got loads of LSB news right now, and I suggest you do this because it's only on there for today. If you go to the Footnotes Bandcamp store, so go to Bandcamp, search Footnotes or LSB, for one day only, because it's Luke's 40th birthday today, he has put his new 8-track mini album up for Pay What You Want on Bandcamp. It's only on there today like it. There's also a vinyl version to order, but go to his Bandcamp today. You've got a few hours left. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. It's absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, he's got a brand new 8-tracker coming out on Footnotes. And then the real big news is he's done a brand new Spearhead EP. And that's coming out later this year. And I'll play you some of that soon too. I met Luke LSB way back, probably nearly 20 years ago. Well, it would have been 20 years ago when I was first starting out as BCee, and he promoted a night in Norwich called Bounce with another guy called Kerry who ran a local record shop, and me and Lomax used to send LSB our demos so that he would play them as a resident of Bounce. And then a few years later he started sending me music because I'd set up Spearhead, and they were tracks like Whispering Words and all of the early Spearhead stuff that he became known for. So what an absolute don. Still one of my favourites today. We had a good laugh together at the weekend. So here we go. So Right featuring Darrison, LSB remix from this time next year. There you go, you can grab LSB by LSB. Oh, I guess it's self-titled, is it? Looks like it. From the Bandcamp store, I've put the link in the chat. Pay What You Want for today. And I'll tell you now, there's a track called Bell Tune on there. It's phenomenal. Yes, big up Anna Weston inside the chat, which reminds me that season 3 of Duck Watch is on right now. To be honest, it's pretty uneventful at the moment, which is a good thing. For those of you who don't know, go to Instagram and follow at Duckwatch UK. So if the ducks that we rescued last year, the eggs that we hatched that became ducklings, swam around on our pond. One of them returned. We don't know which one, but she's now become called Molly. And she emerged from underneath a tree with 8 ducklings a few weeks back. She's lost 2 of them, unfortunately. The village has been struggling with rats eating ducklings. So we've shut her in the garden to try and protect her, but she's happily swimming around on our pond with 6 ducklings. So I'm just giving you updates every couple of days on that if you're interested. Animal videos always go down well. But the rest seem to be okay, so hopefully they'll survive. The bad news is this is going to be the last season of Duck Watch in that format anyway, because we're going to be moving house soon. So I'm going to have to leave the new owners notes. I'll pop round and sort the ducks out. Right, one of my favourites from the album. Came across this guy when I heard him on the Red Eyes track. And yeah, Life Money with KSR.
Future And they know that I got love. And they know that I got. 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 We rock and we roll tonight. There's no care, we're celebrating more life. I've been on the haze by your core. Come back to mine if you're not sure. You make up the roof, we lack in height. You're smoother than smooth when I'm back inside. You keep on going on, I'm all yours. Sneak up from the party to my photos.
Yes, my G's, sorry for the brief hiatus. I've never taken a phone call during the middle of a podcast before. Bit of a situation that needed sorting out, but there you go. One of the ducks called me. Right, so this one, there's been Magic Words featuring Deggs, Leveler on the remix. Leveler, or as somebody else I heard him call him, Levella. Has been smashing it for a while. Deggs, I met when I saw him do a mixtape, you know, like a spray out thing on a Lensman tune years back, just before he signed to Hospital. And we got this Magic Words track in and recorded when I thought Hospital were going to sign him. So jumped at the chance to get a track done before Hospital could sign him on the dotted line. And that is how Magic Words came about. And if you don't know it by now, the original lyric used to say, let me come land my plane girl in your aerodrome. But funnily enough, we changed that lyric. Everything you've heard is from the 20 Years of BCee album. Mega expensive, so don't worry about buying it if you can't. Or hit me up for a discount code if you'd like one, but it is just a bit out your price range. I understand, but it is this mega super box set that's cost us a flipping fortune, and I cannot wait to get rid of them all because it's been the toughest flipping project I've ever been involved in. Whew, or stream it on Spotify. This is called Know Your Light. It features Emily Harkness. I came across Emily Harkness by listening to Seba and the tracks from the Breathe Deep EP from Seba. We've just repressed Seba's last EP, Close to Me, Close to You as well. So some more copies of that around if you missed it. But this is Know Your Light featuring Emily Harkness from Australia. Wanted to go for something kind of a little bit trancey. She's got that kind of voice about her, and really, really happy with the results. I did, by the way, try and get on Come Dine With Me in Dis the other week. There was applications going around, didn't get selected, but that would have been amazing promo. We'll have to do our own.
giving on without a thought. 'Cause we don't need another war. So shelter me from all these storms.
Goldbird featuring DRS. This Time Next Year by me, BCee. Part of the monstrous 4-pack vinyl set. Let's finally in stock! Yay! It's real. It's solid. It's great.
Can't keep this secret. I've fallen, I'm not getting.
Right, I've only got 9 minutes left, but I'm sticking to an hour because I want to do this every week from now on, and I want to keep it interesting. The box set is actually so big that we struggled to get a mailer big enough to fit it in. Anyway, next track I'm going to play you, it's by me and Logistics. We wrote this track about 4 or 5 years ago, and got Becca Jane Gray on a vocal for it, and then it just kind of, Matt Logistics' computer packed up, and then he kind of lost the parts, then we refound some of the stems and rebuilt it and lost the vocal. It was going to come on one of his EPs, then it didn't. So there's been so many variations of this track back and forth, but it was one I really liked, so we managed to piece it back together from kind of old stems, even though the original file had been lost, and it's Projections featuring Logistics and Becca Jane Gray, and I'm so pleased that we managed to get this actually out.
I know
called A Little Too Much. It's Zara Kershaw on vocals. She's uncredited at her request because of other projects at the time. Well, that's it. Spearhead podcast number 68 is complete, but kind of number one of the new batch and the new format. Similar to the old format, but 1 hour. And I'm going to try and be here each and every Wednesday night. Tonight, focusing on the mega 20 years of BCee box set, just because it's been such a mission to get this thing. I kind of wanted to draw a line and say, do you know what, this is it. If you want the box set, over half of them have already sold. It's gone out to other stores this Friday, just gone. They won't be around long. Grab one if you want one. There's absolutely no way they'll ever be repressed. It would give me a breakdown. But big up all the regulars. Great to see you back. Anna Weston, Natalie Hooper, Dan Bryan, Chris in Cambridge, Arthur Reidendick, Luke Gardner, John Eastwood. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I'm really sorry the music's going to run out and not got through everybody. I'll be back next week playing some brand new music that you won't have ever heard before. Some brand new forthcoming Spearhead stuff, some brand new dubs from other labels, talking about other stuff that's coming in and out. And yeah, I mean, let me tell you now, we are not resting. I've taken a little break from production, but Spare 200 is forthcoming, BCee EP. Me and Ember and Charlotte Haining have written a single together that's going to be coming out on another label. I can't play you yet, but I can't wait to play you. LSB's EP is coming out. Lens, the hottest flipping in demand DJ right now, has got her debut EP coming out on Spearhead. We've got Ember's album. We've got a brand new EP from Sweet Pea. We've got more stuff from Missing. We've got stuff from Willem, from Seba. It goes on and on and on. It's going to be a good year, and I think the best music on the label is yet to come. It is coming over the next few months. So come and join me next week and each and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Have a look at spearheadrecords.co.uk, spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com, and somewhere in the link, if you can't find it, do go today before midnight, and while you can, grab the brand new LSB mini album from his. I don't stand to get anything from that, by the way, but I just love it personally, and I've bought it, and I've bought the vinyl. LSB Footnotes on Bandcamp, and you can get that there. Until then, I will see you guys next week. Big up yourselves. I'm out of here.